Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa, special afternoon edition, the day after. I'm having trouble with my microphone. It's time, I guess, to invest in a new professional microphone. So, this will not have the best quality, this podcast today, but I didn't want to wait a whole nother week to record for you. So, hopefully, you will be able to hear me clearly enough and the topic I'd like to share. I want to thank you for joining me. If you're new to my podcast, welcome. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you connect to it. And for those of you coming back every week and give such wonderful comments and feedback, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And if you ever have any of you an idea for a topic, please feel free to email me at serenityharbor@verizon.net. I also have a business Facebook page under Spirit Teacher. It's actually Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium, and I'm also on Instagram under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hop. So thank you, thank you. I love talking about departed loved ones this time of year because during this time of year, the fall equinox of Samhain, the Irish festival, pagan tradition, of Halloween, the veil thins between this world and the next, and we tend to feel our departed loved ones more than normal. And yes, they do come around at other times of the year to be with us when we need them, to celebrate the milestones with us, to experience their memories through Earth, through the visiting of Earth. But this time of year, when they're always right around us, we feel them even more because of the energies around even more. So I wanted you to know today what are the top things that your departed loved ones have learned since they've gone to heaven. And it's been quite a learning time for them, quite a magical time. Well, the first thing, it's not really a lesson, but just the experience for them. You know, many times through religion, we're taught here that maybe we don't get to go, or that we have to hope we get in, or perhaps we have to go through some cleansing before we get in. Everyone goes right in. And so they're overwhelmed by the welcome, the wonderful welcome, because no one ever passes alone. Even if we think they physically do, they don't. And so they're overwhelmed by being met, by love, by acceptance, by understanding, by reassurance, and all that lightness and energy that they now get to reside in, and knowing that everyone on earth will be all right. Now, as far as lessons, one of the top ones they learn is that they never should have worried. That worry was really a lack of faith. It was fear. It was perhaps panic at times, anxiety, and that never changed one outcome. Not one. And all they ever had to do was just have faith and believe. And so they don't want us to worry here. They know it's a waste of time and that we can always get the answer and that things can always change for the better. The second top thing they learned is how important love is. Expressing it, that means saying it and showing it. Not, and when we say showing it, we mean in the way of hugs, in the way of tenderness, not just in the way of providing or other means. So they often come around as trying to give us that love that they realize was so important, or their physical body or beliefs block them from doing their their physical experience. block them from doing. It's so important to them now. And it's important for us to know how important it is so that we can change that before we even transition. Another top thing they've learned is that they could have been, done, had anything they asked for. And that will soon lead to the fourth top thing that they've learned. And what I mean by this is they never had any limitations. It was only limitations they imposed upon themselves. I only have so much money. I can only do this. I can only do that. It was never true. They had always had access to the unlimited, and that they are very powerful and were always powerful to be able to have whatever would give them that peace and freedom. They had the power to light up cities. They had the power to always have wealth, always have love, always have health. So that leads to prayer. They found out they never had to pray and then hope it was answered, that there could be a yes or a no, that sometimes some people got their prayers answered, but others didn't. Like a contest that you try to win. It was never like that. Once you ask, it's yours. And prayer is really just gratitude for receiving it. Thank you for this. Thank you, thank you. That's always what prayer is supposed to be about. They learned the importance, the knowing that we're all one. We're one. That what happens to one happens to all of us. There's no factions. We are not supposed to be separated by wealth or race or gender or anything. We are all equal. We are all tied to each other. It's so important to know that if you feel peace within, your connection to the oneness has peace. If you feel love within, your connection to the oneness has love. If you feel anger or rage, you're rippling out anger and rage to the oneness. And someone that you don't mean to harm has been harmed, as well as really harming yourself. So we always want to feel and allow out what we truly want with that oneness, what we truly want to give. Because then it brings higher vibration. It brings a better planet. It brings better lives. Oneness. Your departed loved ones in heaven love heaven too, because they are free. They get to experience all this power they never knew they had. They get to learn. They get to grow. They get to create other lives while you're away from them because of this dimension. It's a joyful place for them, filled with light energy, love, wisdom, growth. They consider it amazing. And whether you knew them or not, whether they passed when you were very young, or you just didn't have a relationship with them, what they have learned, they want to pass on to you. And they try. They talk to you when you're zoned out or when you're sleeping. They serve you behind the scenes. They want to give you what they could not have. because they didn't know, but now they do. And they always want to help and never harm. You are so loved. They see you unconditionally and often perfectly. And it's so important, the unconditional part, because we tend to be conditional on earth. Many of us. We give and we bill. We wait for our payment. When all giving, all love should always be unconditional. Always. And you'll receive it back multiplied. It will take care of itself. It's so important to keep that in mind. They've also learned about the energy of karma, of consequences for actions, that it's autopilot, it's set up, that there should be justice. But that's nothing to worry about. It's another example of what you put out, you get back. If you deny someone, you will be denied. If you cut someone else out in traffic, even if unintentional, you'll probably be cut out in traffic. It's all equilibrium. They have such great understanding. And they are healed. And they know they are loved. And they know that they were always special, as you are. They smile at us so much. They get a kick out of us. How hard we can make it for ourselves when it isn't necessary. When we could make it so much easier by just knowing our birthright and what we are capable of. I encourage you, and it's easier this time of year, to open up to Source through meditation, through centering yourself. However, practicing with it is best for you. Expanding yourself, accepting your largeness, accepting your power to create your life and to cohabitate with them. Makes life better. It makes life easier. It multiplies trust and understanding and joy. So, so very important. Thank you so much for joining with me today. Thank you so much for wanting to understand heaven and where your loved ones are and how they are there when you need them, and that they have learned. They understand who they were. They understand how life works. Now often they will show themselves through common signs. And these common signs can be birds such as cardinals and hawks and blue jays and robins and most every kind of bird. They can show themselves through butterflies, through dragonflies, through ladybugs. If they're acting oddly or they're just staring at you, anything that makes you go, huh, that's heaven. They often send coins, such as pennies and dimes, or mysterious checks, because the ink is energy. They can send you ones and fives and tens and twenties because they have more energy, because they circulate more. Therein, their signs can come through things battery operated and plugged in. And that includes cell phones acting weird. Anything that makes you go, huh, is probably heaven. This sometimes can be a light touch on an arm or on your head. Most of the time, you're seeing them out of corner of your eye because that part of your eyes are always open. Know that it is next to never your imagination, because when we're using our imagination, it's work. We're conjuring, we're thinking. When signs appear, they come out of nowhere. Have your awareness to how they show themselves. Center yourself in the moment. Know it can be and often is unexpected. So, so very important, because they are there and they do want you to know that they're with you. And you, in your way, when you perceive them, are also with them. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. You heard some noises. When you record in the afternoon, it can be active. But I appreciate your joining me. And if you would please like, subscribe, and share, and sign up for my newsletter through my website, lisahub.com, for all about upcoming events and new services, because I am expanding my office and expanding my healing work. And so there will be announcements shortly. And I'm very much excited and looking forward to that. Thank you, thank you. And I'll talk to you next time. All the best.